Now, classical economics sounds pretty good, right? Because the forces at work help find the perfect price where the most people can have it and the most people can make it. So that works pretty well, right? But let's talk about what the problems are with classical economics and why sometimes it doesn't work perfectly. Let's talk about houses. Let's say here, houses generally go up in price. So I'm just going to make a graph here that shows here's the equilibrium price going up. Perfect, right? That the houses get more expensive as they go on, which means if you buy a house, you can sell it for more. It's a good investment. So this is the equilibrium price. However, that's not the real price. Remember, the equilibrium price is the perfect price, but we can't always find the perfect price. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. So let's talk about the real price and see what happens to it. Well, first of all, maybe the real price is a little bit low, and then people realize, oh, hey, I can sell this for more money. So it goes a little bit high, and then they're like, oh, wait a second, not as many people are buying it. So the equilibrium price goes a little bit down, and then a little bit high. Well, what happens is sometimes it starts to go up a little bit too much here. Now people, when they see this, look, if somebody bought a house right here, and they sold it for up here, they made a lot of money. It's sweet, right? I bought a house and look at all the money that I made. That's amazing once I sell it. So other people say, hey, I could do that too. And they start thinking, well, it's up here, but I think the real equilibrium price is going to be up here later. The problem is, where is the equilibrium price? It's right here, so this actually goes back down. The problem is, the person who bought it here and then sold it here lost money. Lost quite a bit of money. Well, when people realize then that it's too cheap, it starts going up in price again, and then they're like, whoa, somebody who bought it here and sold it up here, they made a ton of money. So people are like, well, I'm going to buy a house so I can make a lot of money too, except for they buy it up here and then it crashes and goes back down. So as this tries to find the equilibrium price, sometimes it has bigger swings as it bounces around. That's not the real true equilibrium price, and that causes a problem. When it starts to get too high, these things where the price starts to get too high, these are called bubbles. And eventually bubbles do what? They pop. So when the bubble pops, the price goes way too low. And so all the people who invested money in a house up here now all of a sudden lost lots of money. And that makes the whole economy go bad. So this is with houses, but this can go with the stock market can do this. The just business in general can do this. So these bubbles and pops and roller coaster waves are all part of classical economics. And it's all part of the force where classical economics is trying to find the perfect price, but because some people get too excited and keep buying even though it's too high because they think they're going to make money, they get too excited. They make the bubble bigger, and then when the bubble pops, it pops farther. Because so many people lost money, they can't buy houses anymore for good prices, so it goes clear down. So that's a problem with classical economics, is although it does try to find the perfect price naturally, the bubbles and the rides can cause lots of problems along the way. So keep that in mind, because we're going to talk about another type of economics that is supposed to help try to stop the bubbles. So classical economics, very good, tries to find the perfect price where the most people can get, in this case houses. This tries to find the way where the most people will build houses and the most people will buy houses so that there's the most houses possible, which is a great thing for business, right? That's part of the goal of business, is to have everybody have as much stuff as they want or can have. But the bubbles along the way really cause problems. Because sometimes people make a lot of money, but then sometimes people lose a lot of money, and the prices go all over the place. And when people lose money, that means there's less jobs and even less money going around, and the price goes down even further. So it causes these problems. This is where you get depressions or recessions, is when these things fall down too much. So keep that in mind. Classical economics good, but there is this one little problem with it. So we're going to talk about another type of economics that is supposed to help fix these bubbles.